Good evening, Boston. Welcome to WXYNZ News at 6. I am Jorge Washington, not the George Washington you're thinking of, but just another simple man. Right now we're going to go to everyone's favorite weatherman, Alejandro Hamilton.
Thanks, George. As you can see, it's a dark and cloudy day here in Boston, and it doesn't look like it's about to start raining. Oh my God! There are two soldiers, and they look like they're about to have a shootout. I hope I don't get shot. Back to you, George.
I have just received some terrible news about our weatherman. Alejandro Hamilton has passed away after being shot by two soldiers, and we do have footage from the scene.
I dare you to shoot first, you fribble.
No, you shoot first, you milksop.
No, you shoot first, you spoony.
No, you shoot first, you nigga-monog.
One eternity later.
No, you shoot first, you nincompoop.
Fine, we'll shoot at the same time.
This is a tragic day for this news station. We would like to have a moment of silence for Alejandro. And now back to some news. We are now receiving breaking news that 9 nations will be joining the war. France, Spain, Netherlands, Russia, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Prussia, and Portugal are all now in this historic war. We have also learned that Catherine the Great, the current leader of Russia, has put together the group of European nations who oppose the British and are called the Armed Neutrality. Hey, armed neutrality. You're against Britain, you're against Britain. Let's help each other out here. We will be right back after this commercial break.
Arby's has an agreement to feature their good friend Pepsi.
Attention, patriot scumbags. We have hacked this commercial to inform you that we are changing our war strategy. We have something very big planned for your nation's coast.
Welcome back. We have now gained information that the British Navy has blockaded our coast, placing an extra amount of men around the city of New York. We have also learned that our new French allies, who we recently signed a treaty with, also have a strong fleet of ships in the water off of the coast of our nation. We are now going to our field reporter, Juan Adams, who has gained the opportunity to interview an American Navy man. Juan, over to you.
Thank you, George. We are now at the coast of New York City interviewing American Navy man Abraham Lincoln. How do you feel about the British Navy blockading the coast of our nation?
Well, I think that the Redcoats are weak and we will destroy every one of their Navy ships.
Well, do you guys have a strategy as to how you will do this?
We don't need a strategy. We will destroy them because we are Americans and we are the best in the world.
Well, I obviously talked to the wrong person about the situation. Probably should have talked to someone else, maybe a colonel or a lieutenant, but oh well. Back to you in the studio, George.
Thanks for that non-helpful interview, Juan. You gave no new information about the situation at all, but thanks for trying. And now for our second major story of the day. We have learned that over 6,000 French troops have arrived and stationed themselves in Newport, Rhode Island. Even though many Americans are suspicious of this, we here at the station believe that the French army being in America will give us an advantage over Britain in this war. We are now going back to our field reporter, Juan Adams, who has an interview with the French soldier in Newport.
Thanks, George. We are here with French soldier Marcus Lafayette. So, Marcus, why has French Army General Comte de Rochambeau decided to station over 6,000 troops here in Newport?
We have decided that after the British overran Georgia and took over Charleston, we had to be more involved in North America.
Do you believe that the Americans should trust that the French are not trying to go to war with them, but are instead trying to help them?
We believe that we should be trusted. We understand why they would have trouble trusting us after hearing about what happened with General Benedict Arnold when he tried to sell West Point to the British. That guy's the real Benedict Arnold, huh?
Well, thank you for this interview, Marcus. This has been a lot more useful than my previous interview. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Juan. We will be right back with our final story after this commercial break.
Now that buffalo chicken sliders are on the menu, Arby's just became your new favorite sports bar. Especially if you don't like TVs or alcohol. Arby's, we have the meats.
Welcome back to WXYNZ News. Our final story involves the Native American tribes of North America. We have gained knowledge that two nations of the Iroquois Confederacy, the Oneidas and the Tuscaroras, have sided with us, the Americans. And the Senecas, Mohawks, Cayugas, and Onondagas have allied with the British. We know that Mohawk Chief Joseph Brant, what is this? Is this a typo? There's an Indian chief named Joseph Brant.
No, that's right. Just keep going.
Okay. Anyways, we know that he is urging the British to try to finish this war and win, because if the British succeed, they believe that it will stop the American expansion to the west. We also know that they have already ravaged much of backcountry Pennsylvania and some of New York until they were stopped by American troops. And now, before the end of today's newscast, we will feature a short editorial with everyone who I have interviewed today. Welcome back, everyone. The question of today is, what do you think the outcome of this war will be and the consequences that will come?
Well, I think that after the war has ended, America will become its own independent country, and they will begin to move westward as to expand their growing nation.
Wow. Thank you, Abraham. That was actually very insightful and a great opinion on the current situation. Well, what do you think the Americans will do to the Indian tribes who live in the western areas of the land?
I believe that the Americans will unrightfully remove the Indians from their land and do this by any means necessary.
Thank you for this commentary, Abraham. We will now move on to Marcus and see what he thinks about the situation.
I believe that after we win this war, the new nation of America and France will have a new long-lasting partnership and alliance for many years to come.
Thank you both for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us this evening on WXYNZ News at 6. Join us again tomorrow for more updates on the ongoing war.
We're done.
Now we still have to do the interviews.
Okay.
Boom, bro. I'm a beast, dude. I'm a beast, dude. I'm a beast.
Hey, let's have a blooper where I start throwing money at you.
Another one?
Do you start recording, Bethel?
That was a fail.